Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, together with
Gavin Thomson, Honorary Bowmore Brand Ambassador. Hi.
Hey, and we're going to be talking about Bowmore and a little bit about a German distillery here. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what are you doing over here in Germany as a Scot, right?
That's right. Well, I'm over here I've been over in Germany since 2002. So coming up 19 years in a few days, actually, the 6th of September I came over here. So first of all, a big shout out to everyone that's out there. I can say hi. We'll talk about like Bowmore and talk about St. Kilian as well later on. If you want to say hi to a few people first, and I'll just drink a wee glass of water here.
Okay, we have Flurp, Mr. X-Ray over in Poland, and we have Sebastian here in Germany saying Moin Moin, which is German for hello together. And I'm sure a couple more people will be joining and also commenting in a moment. So I came over in 1988 through an exchange program, met my first wife, the mother of my two boys. Did you have a similar experience, or did you bring your wife over?
No, I met my wife here. That's right. And she comes from Croatia. But I met her here the first week, and that was it. It was love at first sight. And I'm based in Saarbrücken, which is the south of Germany, just right on the French border. So I'm just kind of 10 minutes away from France. So that's a nice place. It's different than Scotland. I mean, a lot of people say, why did you come over here and leave Scotland? But as you can see, I will never leave my Scottish tongue. You know, I speak the way I speak. And I mean, I speak fluent German as well. Maybe it's not perfect, but
good enough. Like me. Hello, Rika. Good to see you. Hey.
Hi.
And Mr. X-Ray says he's not currently in Poland, but rather at the moment in southern Germany. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Well, it's kind of weird. I mean, it doesn't kind of look like South Germany here. It looks like kind of like on Isla. My name's
Look at that, yeah.
I'm honorary brand ambassador for Bowmore. And how it all started was my passion for whiskey, right? So I love whiskey, and I kind of got to, start to drink, Dalwhinnie and stuff like that, and Dalmores and stuff. And then it came to Bowmore, and Bowmore just, wow, it was just amazing. It's my number one love, And I started then doing tastings, started doing a lot of social media with Bowmore, a lot of marketing, a lot of promotion stuff as well. And at that point, Carol Lane from Douglas Lane, she was a brand manager for Bowmore at Springburn Bond. At that time, it was Morrison Bowmore Distillers. Wasn't under Beam Suntory at that time. And she noticed it, and she says, Gavin, you're our online leading brand ambassador. You are doing such a great job. It's just amazing. And it's, I'm doing it voluntary. So I took that on board. And that's me now, over 10 years now. I'm doing this as a brand ambassador. I'm not paid by Beam Suntory, but I'm recognised also throughout the world as well, and through different whiskey festivals and through social media as well, that I'm their kind of brand ambassador for Bowmore. I also do tastings with Auchentoshan, Glengarry as well, but Bowmore's number one. And you'll see me through whiskey festivals as well, especially one over here in Germany, in Frankfurt, which is called the Inter Whisky. That is always at the end of November. And you'll see me behind the Beam Suntory stall, promoting Bowmore as much as I can. So it's actually quite interesting. The people who come and say, well, that's you, you're doing a great job and stuff like that. So that recognition is always a good thing. And it's always good to be recognised that something that I'm doing voluntary, something that I'm doing honorary, is recognised as something that, like, wow, it's amazing what you're doing. I do a lot of activity. I do also competitions, a whole lot. So just on my own doing, I like to make sure that people are actually getting informed about what's actually happened in the distillery, what the people are actually doing at Bowmore Distillery. What are they doing there? Not just about, you know, the campaigns that are running with Aston Martin and stuff like that, and Bowmore, but actually what has actually happened in the distillery. A couple of weeks ago, I posted about the Bowmore Spirit Safe. The Bowmore Spirit Safe has been refurbished. It's new. It's a new Spirit Safe, but it's also taken a part of the old Spirit Safe and brought to the new Spirit Safe, and it's beautiful. There's also the wooden panels have been used from old Oregon pine washbacks. So it's I like to make sure that people know what has actually happened at the distillery, what the people are doing at the distillery, and what makes Bowmore, the people behind it.
Fantastic. I really like that. So you're better than actually signing up for the newsletter. So we need to follow you on social media to get the most actual, the most newest information there about what's going on there at Bowmore. That is great. And you visited the distillery now dozens of times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right.
The first time I visited was I'm just trying to think, 2011, and I had a private tour with Eddie McCaffrey. Eddie McCaffrey was a distillery manager at that time, and that was just getting taken over from to David Turner. He was taken over that year, and we went up to the water source of River Lagan, where the water runs down straight to the distillery. So that was a great tour as well, being able to see what's, you know, behind the scenes in the #1 vaults as well. And when I was in there, it was just amazing. I mean, everyone knows about a distillery, what it has to offer, but to be in the world's oldest Scotch maturation warehouse, to be in there. Look at that. Look, the hairs.
Goosebumps, goosebumps.
You see that? The hairs are up every time I talk about it, because it's just an amazing atmosphere. It's just an amazing atmosphere to know that these casks are maturing, right? They are maturing and creating such great whiskey. And what's good is actually just to be in the distillery and see the whole production side. And I've been a few times there. I also helped in the Flasche, which is the Islay festival on Islay. Obviously, Islay, if people don't know about it, Islay is the most southerly island in Scotland, in the Hebrides. It's a beautiful, beautiful island. Beautiful, beautiful people. The people are so great there. There's just over 3,500 people on the island. And when the Flasche is on, there's over 30,000 people. You think about it, you know, so it's just buzzing, right? Yep. Buzzing with atmosphere. But it's also good to go there when it's also quiet, when nothing's happening, and just to take it all in. And that is just what's good. Now, I know I'm talking a lot, but
absolutely good. I'm learning.
I made this Bowmore #1 Vaults Whiskey Lounge, which we'll take a tour later on.
Okay. First, we have to do the new make.
Whiskey Lounge that I present whiskey tastings in, private whiskey tastings, and also have my collection, so to say. Although most of the bottles are opened, I don't collect. I enjoy, I open, and I savor. So my house, actually my cellar, has been turned into the Bowmore Distillery, which we'll have a wee look out later on. All right.
Ooh, teaser! Yay!
Here, actually. Sorry?
Bowmore 19 is one of the favorites here. Bowmore 15 is in the glass here. Wonderful. So
Yeah,
I will
well,
be
the
doing
Bowmore
actually a
90,
Bowmore
so that's the
vertical
Bowmore 90.
blind
I'm just,
tasting sometime soon. Yep, you have the 19
right.
as well. Good.
Yeah, it's a French oak barrique. That was the first bottling that was actually fully matured in that French wine barrique wine cask. That's a really good what's it?
Excellent.
So yeah, but I've sent you stuff. Now
Yep.
we're going to be trying a few drams. I hope everyone behind has got a good dram in the glass. Maybe the same drams as well.
Well, the first one we're going to do is the new makes. I don't think they have that now, do they? That's a little bit of a special thing you have to provide because it's not commercially available.
That's right. It's not commercially available. It's straight from the distillery. This is Bowmore New Make Spirit, right? So that is the colour it comes out of, so straight out the spirit. So it's like water, obviously, but it is it's strong. Okay, it's your 68.8% ABV. What's my favourite Bowmore? Just reading this question. My favourite Bowmore, I'm going to be honest, was the first ever hand-filled that came out of the distillery. That was 2013, the Fragile 2013. And it was an amazing cask. I actually have the bottle. Do you want me to go and get it? I'll go and get it.
I guess you will. So I'll translate what Mark wrote down here. He says his favorite Bowmore is a dumpy bottle and it tastes like a flower meadow is on fire or after a fire. So interesting.
The dumpy bottle.
Maybe.
Really good drams. I mean, that was a dumpy bottle at that time. And the bottle had changed in different periods, So that was really that was the 70s that came out. It was the deluxe and the 12-year-old, and that was the dogs here. So that's your dumpy bottle, that's right. But that's the bottle that I'm actually talking about here.
Okay,
so that was the
that's dark.
That's dark. Now, Ginger Willie was the warehouse man. You would actually find him also in the fields cutting the peat. And when he tried that with me, he says, Gavin, that tastes the exact same as the Black Bowmore. I actually enjoyed the Black Bowmore first version on the gallery of the Bowmore distillery, looking out into Lochendal on that day. And I must admit, it had a very, very big similarity of this and that, right? I mean, okay, the 1964, obviously, it's a different, caliber. But I must admit, this was the first, this is the best Bowmore I've ever tried. Now, I've tried a lot of good ones. I've also tried the Mizunara, I've tried 52, 54-year-old ones. It's but this is my number one. Yeah. So there you go. But excellent. Yeah, I've got the Bowmore New Make Spirit, right? So I'm gonna put it in the glass, right? Tiny bit. So obviously we all know the distillation process through Bowmore, so I'm not just going to go all the way through it, but we're wanting that fruity, ripe fruit, and that also comes from the barley that we use, right? The barley is steeped in the water from River Lagan, and then it's put in the malt florings, which is actually a thing that also doesn't really happen in much distillery. So we've got our own floor maltings and malt flooring, and we lie it there for 24 hours, right? Let the heat build up, and then we turn it every 4 hours with a shield, that kind of shovel. And
the way you say Black Bowmore, we know you're in love.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Keep on going. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
After it depends on what season it is, what period of the year it is. Between 3 and 5 days, then it gets moved and then goes up into the kilns, and it gets smoked with these this here. Now that's peat. I sent you a bit of peat as well, right?
Yep.
And that gets smoked, right? I'm just going to do this here, right? I do this in the whiskey tastings as well, and I do this in the whiskey fairs as well, right? I burn this and let people smell it, because if you smell it without burning it, you don't smell anything at all. You don't, right? But when you do that, and you see that, and then you go, wow. I mean, Richard Patterson, the nose, right? He likes.
Now I think you're in love again, right?
Sorry?
I think you're in love again.
Very much so, very much so. It brings me back, takes me back. And when I'm doing whiskey tastings here, when I burn that, I mean, the people think, wow, I'm straight here. And that's why I actually done this. So people that can't get to Islay, I bring them to Islay, you know. So it's a piece of Islay, not an Islay. So I'm going to go on to the New Make Spirit. The New Make Spirit, clear, very oily, but very, very, very fruity.
Mm-hmm.
That smoky influence, that freshness, it's just awesome. Now, obviously, 68.8%, it is a wee bit strong, but it's just great to just try it, just to see what it is. And when you're at the distillery, it's possible to just try and try a wee bit. I don't know what it is just now, what you actually are, if you're allowed or not, but it's just great to try. It's just great to try.
Very good. So you produce about 30% of your own malt. The other 60-some% you actually buy from Simpson's Malting, if I'm correctly informed. And so you always do a ratio of 1/3 of your own malt and 2/3 basically of that malt, and you always have about 25 ppm, right? Is that still correct?
That's it, exactly. We are 25 to 30 parts per million. That's right, so ppm. And it's obviously a slow smoke. It lies up there also 3 to 5 days or 5 to 7 days. I haven't done whiskey tastings a long time, so
I'm sorry.
Trying to think about it myself. But it lies up there as well, and then it gets taken and then goes through the whole process all the way straight through to the casks. You know,
excellent. So if you have any questions, please ask. Rika, for example, asked, since you know the distillery you have known for over 10 years now, did you notice, or have you noticed any changes over time? And if so, which were the biggest changes, maybe?
Any changes over time? No, not really. I mean, the people are still the same. The people always, the turnover of people within the last years is just not much at all. And that's what's good. It's like a big family as well. And you think of the people that work there have got a lot of experience behind there. And anyone that does leave, they'll probably go to another distillery on the island as well. You think about Jim McEwen as well. You know, Jim McEwen was Bowmore manager, and he went and saved Bruichladdich. So within the last 10 years, maybe within the security side of things, so when it moved from Beam Suntory, Morrison Bowmore Distillers to Beam Suntory, obviously things had, changed a wee bit there. But not much at all. I mean, Rachel Barry was also, she was a master blender also at the time for Morrison Bowmore Distillers, and then it was Beam Suntory, and then Ron Welsh came. He also had a big background, and he's still there as master blender, and he does a great job. And yeah, the stuff that's coming out is just amazing stuff. I'm just happy
Okay.
about it.
So Lika kind of clarified as well. She's talking maybe about different types of casks, maybe marketing strategies, something along those lines.
Okay, I mean, a lot of people at the moment are saying because of the Aston Martin, we've got that campaign, Bowmore and Aston Martin, under the Prestige selection, which is kind of, people are saying that it's going to an upper market. So like going to the market that people that have got big bucks. I don't see it that way, to tell the truth. Because Bowmore's there for everyone. It's the same with other distilleries as well, Lafroig and stuff, you know. Obviously, there's always a campaign to market, and marketing is always good. It can be taken the way people want it, right? It can be taken positive, or it can be taken negative, right?
So I'm going to just go over to the Bowmore website here, and you can actually see these masterpieces, the 10-year, the 15-year-old, the 18-year-old, the limited edition. It should be exclusive to duty-free, but at the moment, still people aren't flying, so it actually hits the German market as well. They are not cheap. Let's just say that, okay?
No, okay. I mean, the prices obviously have increased in a way. I don't have any influence in that. I don't know why it's their thing. Marketing knows exactly why they're doing that. Beam Suntory know exactly why they're doing that. And yeah, I mean, the drams behind them, they're really, really great drams. You've got the 10-year-old. Deep and Complex, you've got the 15-year-old Golden Elegant, and then you've got the 18-year-old, hold on a minute. God, no, I've forgotten it.
So the 18-year-old, what is it? Rich fruit, dark chocolate, Isla smoke. I have no idea what that is. I can't read it.
Hold on a minute. I'm just going to see.
You got it.
No, Deep and Complex. The 10-year-old is dark and intense, right? So dark and intense, Golden Elegant, and that's right. So you've got those, the 10, the 15, the 18, and you've got something as well. People collect. There's a lot of collectors out there. They like to see it. They like to see a campaign, and they love to have such a nice bottle with the DB5 on the front. There you go.
Yep. So are they going to reach Spain duty-free at your airport? Probably yes. And do you know Phil?
Probably.
He's saying you should speak without the accent that you have.
So say it again. Sprich mich Hochdeutsch, aber ich meine auch Englisch. Ah, right. Okay. Well, right. I'm
Sorry.
Going to say something, right. I am who I am. Right.
Yeah.
Now, actually, I used to teach English in a primary school, right?
Oh.
For over here, and actually, my Scottish isn't so hard as other parts in Scotland. So when I'm actually talking, it should be okay. Maybe I speak a wee bit fast. For those German speaking, you know, they are kind of like, what the hell? But you go to Islay, you try and understand the Islay tongue. You try and understand the actual islands. You go up to Orkney and stuff like that. Whoa, I'm telling you. If you're going to visit Scotland, then you need to have your ears open.
Okay, the Bowmore 10 here from the Aston Martin will be about 45 pounds. The 15-year-old is about 62 pounds, and the 18-year-old is about 93 pounds. So they're not too expensive if you can get your hands on them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And
look at
actually,
this.
I love
your accent is beautiful.
Yeah. And PX. That's right. Oh,
and he's just making fun. So, all right, good. All right, very, very good. Should we move on to our first whiskey, or do you want to do the tour first?
So I hope everyone's got a good dram out there. We're actually going to the first whiskey. We've done the new make spirit.
Yep.
And now the first whiskey we're going to is the Bowmore Vaults edition, or Vault edition, sorry. Now this is the Vault edition. If you want to put that on big screen, I can show it like this. This is the Vault edition that came out. It was supposed to be that it came out annually, right? So every year, it came out actually 2016, right? Now, the Vault edition, this is the Atlantic Sea Salt. This is the first edition. It is 51.5%, right? It's no colouring actually in this. A lot of people say Bowmore just use colour. Not true. So it's called Atlantic Sea Salt. Now, it's just such a great dram. I love this. This is a 4-part series. There's the first one, this one here, Atlantic Sea Salt. So that's the salt. Then you've got the second edition, which we'll go to next after this, which is peat smoke. So you've got the smoke. And the other 2 versions are going to be coming out at some point, and that is fruity and sweet. But I'm not going to say what they are. So let's go to the first one.
All right, very good. So I'm going to say hi to Paris over here with Greg. Greg's Whiskey Guide. If you don't know him, look him up. He's doing good work over there in Paris. And Rika says, has there ever been a Bowmore which you absolutely didn't like? He's not allowed to say it live on YouTube here or Facebook. Otherwise, he'll be excommunicated, right?
I'm going no. I mean, I'm going to say I'm not under the thumb, right? But no, I'm going to be honest. There isn't a Bowmore I haven't really liked at all, because even the cheapest or the younger of the Bowmores, the Bowmore Legend or the small batch or the number 1, it shows a signature of the distillery. You go to the distillery and you have a dram, right? You taste Bowmore, and that is what really, really is important, that you actually taste Bowmore behind it, the fruitiness, the peat smoke. I've not had a bad dram of Bowmore. I've had a bad whiskey. There is a whiskey that I totally dislike, and I'm not going to say here what it is. I've got the bottle there and it's still full. But no, there's not any Bowmore that I haven't had that I don't like.
All right, very good. I'm starting to learn to enjoy Bowmore more and more. For me, it was a little bit too peaty, earthy type of moment. But because of the Whiskey Viking, Ansgar, and you've helped me to entertain the idea that Bowmore actually have some very, very nice products out there. But it was general Islay peat that I had my problems with. But I'm slowly going in that direction, and everything goes right. May 2022, I'll be on the island, and I will be visiting the distillery and looking forward to also seeing it. Hey, keep your fingers crossed. I know.
Very much so. I've got them all crossed here.
Yeah.
I can very, very much say it's just a great island to visit. Scotland is a great place to visit, but Islay is just so welcoming. The people behind the island that's on the island, they will help you if you're in need of help at all. It's great also for children if you want to go, not just distillery visits, but if you want to go over, go there, go with your kids and enjoy it. Yeah, it's just great. Great seafood, great. There's also different events that actually happen as well. Beach rugby, the whole lot. It's just great. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So there was a sailing seagull from Slow Drink, Peter Krause here in Germany. Maybe you've had that. 2
CLs of it there.
Excellent.
It's an amazing dram. I just wish I got a bottle. Unfortunately, I didn't. Peter, you know my address.
Hey, Hoagie Bear from Berlin is there. Very, very good. He coincidentally just opened up 2 great Bowmores, the Spring Tide and the Tempest 6. Both actually cast strength and wonderfully complimentary. Hey, long time no see. Good to see you there.
Good to see you too. Yeah, the Springtide, an amazing dram. I love it. Still available, obviously. And the Tempest Yeah, okay, everyone says, when's the Tempest coming back out? It's not, people, it's not, but there's other things coming out. Now, this is another thing as well. People say, yeah, why did you stop the Tempest? That was so great. Because there was 6 versions. If there's a point that you have to stop, you know, so you have 1 to 6, then you had your different levels and stuff like that with the peatiness as well. So it was a time that we had to stop it, but it's a good thing to look back on. It's exactly like the Limerick as well, the 15-year-old Limerick, one of my favourite drums as well. I love the Limerick, as well as the Devil's Cast as well. This was a legend. There was the Bowmore Legends series. You know, it's always a series, but there's a point in time that you have to stop. There's also the Vintners range. That was great. The wine cask, also great. These things are going to be coming out in different names and stuff like that. But it probably won't be Tempest, but there'll be different things coming out. And this is a thing as well. I mean, this was the Vault edition. Obviously, there's 4. There's only been 2 released, so there's another 2 coming out. And this one's the Atlantic Sea Salt. I'm going to be talking about this in a minute.
All right, very good. So,
we're going to try it. Okay.
Yes, please. After I burnt my tongue on the new make, let's go for this instead.
Right. Okay. Right.
It was the first whiskey of the day, and it was like, oh yeah, not a good idea.
Okay. Well, I've got the Bowmore Atlantic Sea Salt. Now, when I talk about this through whiskey festivals, I'm saying to people that if you go into the distillery, you open up the Bowmore No. 1 vaults, it's dark, it's musty, it's, you know, it's eerie, you know? You open up the doors, you're going through, and then you come to the Bowmore casks. You open up a cask, an ex-bourbon cask, you take out the whiskey with the Valinge, and you pour it into the glass, take a sniff. You say Salanjavar to the angels that are with you within that distillery.
I don't know if I need good health or not with those angels. All right, good. We need it. Hey, Tom.
And you take that in the tongue, you bring it down, and amazing, it hits, get right into the chest, 51.5%. Absolutely great. A full mouth of salt. It's as if you've taken the whiskey and then you've just went out and you've ran into Lochendal and you've just taken a big dive into Lochendal and went for a swim and just taken that sea water, that salty water into the on the tongue. This just is a great dram, and this is a thing that has to be continued in the whiskey industry. Ex-bourbon casks, ex-bourbon casks, and not just sherry finishes and sherry and rum and port and everything like that.
Madeira and everything else. Yeah.
Right, ex-bourbon has got a lot of things to speak for, and this is a thing that it kind of annoys me in a way, because there's, you know, Sept that moving the ex-bourbons to the side and not bringing them out is the way they should be, you know. And
now, are all of these casks from the Vault No. 1 series stored at the Vault No. 1?
That's right. So,
and what would the percentage be of the casks in total? About 80% offsite and 20% onsite. Is that almost okay, or is it a little bit more?
As far as I know, the casks that were used for the Vaults edition were just
100%
in the No. 1 vaults. We've got 5. We've got the warehouse is up at the top of the hill, which is like 500 meters away from Lochendal, which also starts off in the No. 1 vaults and then get moved over. You'll find that within time that will get used for like the 12-year-old and stuff like that. But special releases, they'll always be within the No. 1 vaults. And that's why it's also called the Vault Edition, because it's straight out the vaults. That's right. So this one, you think about it, these lie straight at the wall. I mean, these walls are like a meter thick, right? but this sea salt comes through, penetrates through the wall into the cask, and that's why you're getting that kind of saltiness as well.
And don't forget, the air is penetrated with that salt anyways. It's sea salt air all around. Very good. So now Bowmore belongs to Beam Suntory, and wouldn't it be the best thing to get your cask from your parent company in Kentucky? So usually they're using Beam casks, so either Maker's Mark or anything else from the Beam Claremont, Kentucky distillery, right?
That's right. Well, as far as I know, they take a lot from Jim Beam, from Maker's Mark, and from the last time I actually said it. What was it I said? It was. Hold on a minute. What was it I said?
And that way they don't need to buy the cask. They own the cask already, and they just need to ship them over and fill them up with single malt, right?
That's right. Well, yeah, as far as I know.
Yep. If you want to say Knob Creek, or Knob Creek belongs to Beam Suntory.
Yeah, well, obviously, all the casks, the bourbon casks, you know, I don't think they would get them like from Jack Daniels or something like that. Obviously, the cask for. But I've heard that somebody said there's a Jim Beam,
Jack Daniels
cask.
Yep.
In the warehouse. Now, yep. I don't work in the warehouse. I'm not on the island, so yep. I can't really actually say that. If somebody has seen it, please take a photo and post it at WhiskyJason and see, because I would actually like to see it myself.
All right, very good. But the majority come from the parent company, and that is Beam Suntory, which means Maker's Mark belongs to Beam. Beam belongs to Beam, so anything there. And so even Knob Creek belongs to Beam. So that's some good stuff going on there. Yeah. All right, very, very good. So would it be time now for a little bit of a virtual real-life tour?
Yeah, very much so. No problem at all. I'll take my drum with me.
Yeah, please do.
We'll go on a tour. Now, for people that don't actually know, as it says, I've got my own home. And when I bought it, it was a thing that it was always a dream of having your own whiskey room. But I wanted to not make that kind of men room. You know, I wanted to make something that people were actually involved, that I could share with people. And because of my whiskey tastings, I thought, well, if people would like a wee whiskey tasting that I can do at my own home as well, then people can visit. So I decided to make these two rooms into one, which you'll see in a minute. But not just the room, but it's also outside as well, in the hallway and stuff. So I've kind of created the Bowmore distillery in small, right? So I'm going to take us all now for a virtual tour of the Bowmore distillery in Saarbrücken, Germany. It's kind of weird. It's a piece of Islay, not on Islay, right? Okay, so it's going to be weird. I'm going to be.
All right. So Greg, Ardbeg belongs to Monet Hennessy, and they have no bourbon distillery to buy from. So of course they're buying from Jack Daniels and everyone else. All right. So good. Go for it.
He's ready, guys. Let's go. I'm going to be a wee bit quiet because my kids are sleeping. Okay, so. If people know about the distillery, right, people know what happens. You come to the distillery and you go up the stairs, up to the gallery, right? So this is the start, okay? So you come down the stairs here, and then you come to this part here, which is the Bowmore Gallery, right? So I've got all different photos here of the distillery, the way it used to be. Myself and Eddie McCaffer here, the old Spirit Safe, Bowmore, the way it used to be. Even when you visit the gallery in the distillery, you'll come across the 1957, this podest podium with, you know, this glass frame with the bottle spinning inside. And I wanted to make that as well, so I recreated that as well, right? And that inside, what we've got is, unfortunately, not filled, but this is the Bowmore 1979 by Century bottle in its glass case, right? And I thought, well, why not make something as well that's from the distillery? There you go. The Bowmore Spirit Safe. Take a wee closer look at this.
It's amazing.
All the details that was used within the old Bowmore Spirit Safe, you'll see a lot of details in here. What it was actually a spirit safe that used to hold a bottle in a bar in the 1980s for Bell's whiskey. And I polished it up, I recreated it, I drilled the whole lot, found different taps as well. This is you're able to turn this as well, you know, just like in the distillery. And here you have the spirit bowl with the tap running its new make spirit through.
Wow.
You've also got the, you know, different things in there. So there you go. So that's that, right? So I'm not want to bore you here, right? So we're going this direction here. It's all the white walls as well, black doors. And then you come to the Bowmore kiln, right? I'm going to do it this way, right? So you can see there's a Bowmore kiln, right? So there you go. Okay. There's your Bowmore peat, straight from the distillery, right? Peat cutters. And there, if you have a look, canister, there you go.
Ooh.
Burning peat. There, outside the door, outside the window, is Loch-and-Dal, straight from the distillery. And then we go this direction here. Different photos about the distillery. You've got the malt box here, which got the grist, the barley, and the malted barley as well.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, the grist. There you go.
Yep.
So, then we come over here. You've got the old maltings. There's the boiler house as well. The old maltings, you've got the malt floor, right?
Amazing, huh?
There you go. All on here, right? You get the malt cherry there. You've got your shield. You get your cask rings. There's your distillery at the back there. There's a few samples there. And then we come over here. And this is the Bowmore #1 vaults whiskey lounge.
Boom, boom, boom.
Which I actually created, obviously, you know, to make sure that people thought they were actually in the distillery. So this had to be included. So you've got this here. You've got the old padlock as well. And then we open it up. And then we come in and just do a wee turn around here. You've got the fireplace. You've got the cooper's tools, which you go into the Bowmore #1 vaults. You'll have the cooper's tools at the start before you see the casks. So I'm just going to turn around here. You've got the fireplace. Yeah, you've got the different Bowmores here, and different other stuff. You know, it's not just Bowmore that I have, I also have different other stuff as well. So when people are here, I do my tastings, I stand here, and the people are sitting around the side here. And then, you'll see different things that are actually involved with it, that actually recreated within, that you'll see within the vaults, like the 1V, which means number 1 vaults. You'll see the casks here. You'll see the casks actually getting lowered as well with chains, and that's kind of to represent it as well. So that's it. That's my lounge, which I like to present people.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So Flurp asks, were there any problems with mice? Maybe with all the grain on the floor?
No, none at all, because everything's closed. Everything's closed. No mice at all. Not one. Nothing. Not even a beetle.
And Greg says it's a real museum, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Kind of, yeah.
So if anyone's close to Saarbrücken, contact here, Gavin, and say, hey, I'd like to have a tour of vault number 1.
We can obviously contact, and if people want a taste or to have a wee look at it, then by all means, no problem at all. I can do it over all means.
But don't show up without contacting first.
That's right.
So we've now just done the, it was called Coastal Air. What was it called? So, yes, the number 1 we just had was the Atlantic Sea Salt.
That's right, Atlantic Sea Salt. That's right. So that was the first one. The second one we're going to is this version here, and that is the second release called Peat Smoke. Yeah, so we've got here, it's 50.1%, and it's discovering actually what's behind not just the ex-bourbon casks, also what we've actually got is also the ex-bourbon and sherry casks, which you'll also find within the Bowmore 12-year-old as well, and the 15, the 18, the 25, and the core range. But this is obviously a limited edition. We want to bring up a wee bit higher in percentage, so 50.1%. And it's also to do with the peat smoke. So it's a tiny bit smokier, but it's still the same levels, 25 to 30 ppm as well. But it's showing you the way Bowmore is, so in that influence with sherry and ex-bourbon casks.
Excellent. Could you answer the question for Hoogie Bear? Is it the same juice basically going into these Aston Martin editions, or something different?
I can't answer.
My information is it's the same. It's only a few euros more, and you have the box basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, people are going to say, right, okay, there was that price before, and now it's then higher, or I can get it still at that price, and then this edition is higher because there's a car in front, or because there's a car label in front, a logo. As far as I know, it is the same. But obviously, in a collector's point of view, I mean, there's people, I think it's also going to that way in the luxury side of things as well. I mean, there's a lot of people that are traveling that want something luxury, and that's what they're going for. But I mean, that's also luxury. It's all luxury. I love the 18-year-old core range.
It's all luxury.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. He's going to put it on his channel's playlist so that his viewers can also see this because it's just great content. Thank you very much. Yeah. And actually, this is a very, very impressive Bowmore, what we have. All right, so what was the most impressive Bowmore Gavin has ever tried, and where? Price, age, doesn't matter. Could be a cheap one. Just give us a little story, as if you're not giving enough stories as it is.
I'm sorry. I know I talk a lot.
No, I find this actually interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, that first handful that actually came out from the distillery, that was just my favourite out of the rest, out of them. Obviously, there's a lot of independent bottlers out there as well that bring out single cask bottlings as well, and you're able to try something like that. That's also good from like Malts of Scotland stuff. There's also Douglas Lane as well, an independent bottler, which I'm actually also one of the fellows, which is a fellows program. There's 12 of us, I'm brand ambassador for Douglas Lane in that part as well. And they bring out also great bottlings. There's also been different Bowmores that's been coming out as well. There's also like Bunny Happens here from the Provenance range. That was my bottling. You'll see also at the end, you'll see the names, Carol Lang or Fred Lang or, you know, Chris Leggett. And my name is actually on there, Gavin T. Right? So
I
that's
didn't
my
see that. Oh,
notes on
cool.
that.
All right.
I don't know if you actually see it. There
Yeah.
you go. There it is then. There you go. So Gavin T, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Excellent.
Right, so
Excellent.
that
Yeah,
was
I
my
see it.
bottling. So I was a 12-year-old Bunnahabhain. That was really, really good. And also do other work as well for, it's also honorary. Everything's honorary. I'm also malt ambassador for William Grant and Sons. I do Balvenie and Glenfiddich, Monkey Shoulder tastings. And I also, I'm brand ambassador honorary as well for the Angel Share Glass. The Angel Share Glass is a small glass company. So the hand blow, so whiskey droppers, water droppers, sorry, like this one here. It's got like a kind of still on it. Or tiny wee glass angels. I can show you here.
Wow.
Right? Beautiful. And that actually has got 2 cl of whiskey inside, which you actually can't get out at all. So that is the Angel Share.
That looks like a little bit of a Christmas decoration or a Christmas present.
That's right. Well, they actually do. I'm just going to get some. It's just over there. Right?
All right, good. No problem.
This is actually quite good. You can actually still hear me, right? And Christmas is coming up, right?
Yes, it
What
is.
the Angel Share Glass do as well.
Apparently, summer's over in your life. Good. I'm going to make you big again. 1 second. Oh, wow.
Well, listen, right? These are whiskey bulbons, right? Which you put on the tree, right? Now, this one is from Big Peat, right?
Okay.
And this one is actually a gift from Angel Share with Devil's Cask, #1 version in there, right? From the Bowmore. And these hang on the tree and they don't get opened, but that's also a nice thing to have as well. So if you visit the Angel Share Glass, it's a small glass company in Stirling. And
aren't you from place nearby to Stirling?
Sorry?
Isn't that more your hometown area, Stirling?
No, my hometown is Ayrshire, which is the southwest of Scotland. So I lived right the shore, just looking over Arran.
Yep.
Where Arran Distillery is over there. And across from Arran, then you have like Campbelltown, then you have Isla. That's right. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So let's go on to the
number 2.
Second one, which is the Peat Smoke.
Peat Smoke.
Yeah, it's actually good. I mean, you said you don't really like your smoky whiskey at all, but I find
I'm learning to like it.
Yeah, learning. That's it. But it is a learning experience, and this is what I like about whiskey, because whiskey is a learning experience, but it's supposed to be enjoyed, right? Now, for everyone that's out there, enjoy it the way you want. If you want to add cola, then add cola. If you want to add ice, then add ice. It's up
but
to
not
you.
this, please.
No.
So buy the somewhat less expensive whiskeys for that.
Yeah, well, we can actually just advise, so to say, right, in how you enjoy your whiskey, right? Now, a wee drop of water. What I'm going to do is actually going to take this, right? I'm going to put it in this glass of water, right? Now, what you've got is a tiny wee hole. And then I'm going to put it in the glass. I'm going to put my finger over the hole. And this holds the water, right? Yep. And then I'm just going to add a few drops into, right, the glass. You'll see these visometric whirls within the glass. That's that chemical reaction within the glass, right? A tiny sweet swirl. and it brings out, it opens it up. Obviously, you'll need to leave it a bit longer for it to actually happen, right? A lot of people say, put it in, oh, wow, what a difference. But you actually have to leave it a wee bit longer. Say about 10 minutes, and then go back to the glass and see what it's actually like. But if you want to drink it with cola, then it's up to you. But try something different and not a good bottle like that.
Exactly. I have no problems with ice cubes. I have no problem with Coke. I have no problem with ginger ale. Just don't take a €100 bottle to do it with. All right. There's stuff for €25 that is more in my price league. Let's just say that.
But as it says, each to their own. If people want to enjoy it that way, then enjoy it that way. All I can say is Slanjavar. Let's go to the second dram and.
Okay, I do get the peat smoke.
Yeah, very much so.
An earthy, chocolatey type of peat smoke.
Yeah, earthy, chocolatey,
malty as well.
The bark is there, but the fruit, the tropical fruits that come through, the bursting through as well. It's just a great dram. Slanjavar. I'm going to drink it.
Slanja.
Also, that saltiness still in the tongue as well,
Yeah.
Great. It's
wow, but there's a lot more of a peat. The peat rolls through at the end much more, I think.
That's right. And very, very, very important is to cover the whole tongue. You've got all the different senses, bitter, salty, and sweet, and all that. You have to coat the whole mouth. Richard Patterson, a good friend of mine as well, he says, to go he's not saying it just to be a comedian. He's a great guy. To know him personally behind the scenes, just a great guy. But he knows what he's talking about. I know people are saying, Dalmore and this and that, but what he's actually talking about is true. If you put it all the way around the mouth, you're coating the whole mouth, you're tasting it and not just going and swallowing it back. So that's right. Yeah.
All right. So George T. Stagg costs about €500 at the moment over here in Europe. If you want to mix it with Coke, all right. Do whatever you have to.
I'm gonna be honest. I've tried about 2 or 3 different bourbons, but I haven't tried many at all. So
don't worry. We're Scotch today, and we'll be soon going over to German whiskey. So hey, that's our last one here.
That's it.
Very good. So you're not just the honorary brand ambassador for Bowmore. You're also for a German distillery, which we're going to now switch over to. And tell us a little bit about St. Kilian, if you'd be so kind.
That's right. Well, I'm now, as of the start of July, honorary brand ambassador for St. Kilian. St. Kilian is a distillery in Rudolf, which is
Germany,
not far away from Frankfurt.
Yep, less than an hour away with a car.
What do you say in English, Rudolf?
Yeah, but no one even in Germany knows what Rudolf is. And my international guests are even going to go, who knows what a Rudolf is?
Right. Well, if you were actually to look it up, go to stkilian.com. It's actually been changed also into English so people can see it. New brochures have actually been processed as well, been printed, and are ready for the. Sorry, I was just looking at the question. Are ready for to go international, right?
Yep.
Now, to go international is a long process, obviously, and obviously the market, the Asian market, is big with Scotch whiskey and whiskey at all. So St. Kilian want to approach that market and also to the UK and America and whatever, to all English-speaking countries as well.
So www.stkiliandistillers.com. You can see the multiple awards.
That's
You can
right.
see the signature editions, the Bud Spencer whiskey. And here you actually have the owner and the founder here,
That's
Andy or
interesting, Mark.
Andreas then there. And you have here a couple other people that are actually important there. And you can buy your own casks and you can see where they are. So here
That's
we can
right.
actually say Ludenau down here, Frankfurt up here, Darmstadt over here.
That's right.
So
So it's not far
beautiful,
away.
beautiful place. I was there about a month ago, filling up my own cask that I have there, and good stuff.
Yeah, great distillery. Now, I'm going to talk about it small in the sense that that people know. St. Kilian Distillery wasn't a distillery. You know, it is a young distillery. Opened 2016. I think I was right.
Yep.
And it was
St. Patrick's Day, the first spirit
right.
flowed.
There you go. Now, it was a clothes factory.
Yes.
And it went bust, you know, and got closed down. And Andreas Tumler, who's an investment banker, he had a big collection. He had a good love for whiskey. And a good friend of his was David Hines.
Yeah.
He owns Irish distillery. Do you know what one that is, Jason?
Owned is one of those big words. I don't know if he owns one, but
Maybe
he worked
not
for many
owned.
years.
Right. Maybe not
He
owned,
worked also for Irish Distillers, Middleton.
That's right, Middleton. There you go. So not owned,
but he didn't own it. It's a publicly listed company, so kind of difficult to own that one.
Okay, so now they got together in Germany, in Rudolf, had a good drink together, had a great time, good meal and whatever, and talked. And people approached Andreas and asked him if he would like to buy this, or maybe an idea of doing something with this clothes factory that's been closed down. And it came to an idea, why not make a distillery? Talked to David Hines. They said, okay, yeah, why not? David actually took the next flight the next day. Instead of straight to Ireland, he went straight to Forsyth and got everything ready to be sent over. They went over, I think it was 4 point something million pounds for equipment. That means everything really that you need for a distillery, they got from Forsyth and shipped it over. That means the wash bags, Oregon pine wash bags, not your stainless steel or stuff like that. Oregon pine wash bags. They've got their spirit safe. They've got the spirit stills. Spirit stills straight from Forsyth. Now this is the bottle of St. Kilian, right? So this is their shape. Now the shape of the bottle.
So look at those stills. Very, very similar, right?
Stills, exactly. And they actually done this really, really good. Now,
and they've got the beautiful bottle design there.
Actually pour it out and actually hold it at the side, right? Like a decanter, put your thumb in the side, right? And then you pour it out like that, right? Which is actually, it's quite a good idea.
It is nice,
and it's got the shape, it's got this wee lip here as well. And it's showing all the information. So it's showing single malt whiskey. This is signature edition. So you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be coming out soon.
Okay.
I'm not going to be talking much about it, but it's going to be coming out soon. And it's bottled 51.7. This is the last one that came out.
That's number 7, yeah. I have that over there as well. Yep.
And it tells you at the back all the information that you need to know, right? This is Pietro Jimenez sherry casks and ex Oloroso sherry. And it also tells you 73% of Oloroso, 27% of ex Pietro Jimenez. There's no colouring.
Nope. Natural,
There's
non-chill
no
filtered.
chill filtration. It's an integrity malt, people, right? So this is a good thing. This is exactly what people are wanting. And what's good is St. Kilian are listening and hearing the people what they're wanting, and they're bringing out something good. And I thought, wow, I mean, this is actually great. I love this distillery, but I haven't been there yet. So I actually made an appointment with Andreas, and I had a
You've never been there?
around the distillery. Sorry?
Oh, wow. You've never been there?
No, I was there,
okay.
yeah, and I had this, at that time, and when I was there, I had the tour with Andreas, and I thought, this is amazing. This is just absolutely great, and he loved what I was doing, and he asked if I would like to come on board. Now, because of the stuff that I'm doing, my number one love is Bowmore. I did say, yeah, but honorary, right? Because I like the way they're bringing out integrity malts, Rika, that's what I'm saying. I like the way that they're bringing out things. It's non-chill filtered, there's no colouring, and it's a new distillery, it's young, and they're promoting stuff, they're bringing out stuff that's really, really interesting. They're using different casks, they're using chestnut casks, they're using different casks that maybe wouldn't be used normally in other, distilleries. So this is really, really what I like to see. And we can actually go into a third whiskey, because this is a dram that actually is very, very special to me, because we decided to bring out the Ambassador's choice. Now,
I have to correct myself real quick. David Hines was not by Middleton. He was by Cooley. I'm so sorry. He started there in 1988, stayed there until 2012, and he is now at Great Northern Distillery. So he stayed basically true to John Teeling. That's the connection. My mistake. Sorry.
That's right. Okay. I also don't have the whole thing in there, right? So there's a lot of people that were able to do it, no problem at all. But
I should have known that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So the prices, what did your price, your bottling, the Ambassador, was a little bit more expensive than normal, because it was a limited edition, it was cask strength, and so on. But normally a bottle of, for example, Bud Spencer, St. Kilian whiskey is
45, 49
exactly
euros for a bottle, and the signatures are around that price
as well.
And the limited editions or the special editions are a wee bit more. So my bottle came out at $69.90 for the bottle, and now if you can find it, because it's all sold out, you can find it roughly about 120 euros or something like that. So the price obviously does go up.
That's secondary prices, not the official prices here.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. It was basically the same price you have for the hand fills there at the distillery. They go for $69.90 normally, and $49.90 is the normal price there. So I think that's for German whiskey, it's absolutely almost 10 euros, 20 euros under the normal price at the moment here for single malt.
I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, it's half a litre. I mean, at some point, when the distillery gets older, obviously there may be going to be, when the production is more, they're going to be bringing out casks and bringing out maybe a signature that's always going to be there, like the Bowmore 12, the Bowmore 15, the 18, and the 25. It's always going to be there. Obviously, St. Kilian will, within time, do that. And maybe in a 70% litre bottle. So watch this space, we never know. But this one, as it says, this one was a bottling that we brought out. This is the Ambassador's Choice. And it was cast that I'd actually got to try now I'm actually off sick still at the moment. I had an operation in my back, and Rudolf, the master distiller there, had sent me samples, cask samples of different whiskies that we've got there.
Yep.
Islay whiskies, actually Islay casks. Actually, what they've done is to put their new make spirit, which is also different. It was this one here was a Pilsner malt. I don't know how you say that in English, and a caramel malt. So that was actually,
it's the degree of which the heat is applied to the malt in that malting process.
That's right.
And it changes. So usually the Pilsner we use more for the beer, and the caramels is really a brown, almost a dark black type of malt that has had much more heat and has much less yield, by the way, but has very, very strong flavors. Yeah.
And they put it into ex-Bunnahabhain casks, right? Now, these were 4 casks, which actually states at the back of the bottle. Now you've got casks 158, 159, 160, and 163. There was an ex-Bunnahabhain Stauosha cask, right, which is a heavily peated cask, right? It was distilled 13th of the 7th, 2016, and it was bottled 14th of the 6th, 2021, right? Now, cask strength, straight out the cask into the bottle. They wanted to put it down. Because of it being so high, they wanted to bring it down to 57%. And I says, no, I want it to be this integrity malt that everyone wants. It's no colouring. There's no chill filtration. I'm wanting it to be cask strength, full on. And if anybody wants to add water, then they can do that themselves. Try it first. As if you go into distillery. If you go into distillery in the warehouse, you'll get it straight out of the cask and then you'll try it. So that's what I'm wanting. So 63.3% volume. And it's absolutely an amazing dram. It is a very good peaty, earthy dram. Obviously, that's been taken straight out of the cask. It's been matured in there, and it's been taken out just 1 month to 5-year-old. So it's nearly 5-year-old, right? That's been in that cask. And a beautiful, beautiful colour as well. And yeah, I'm just so happy with it. And you've got I'm going to see it here. There we go. Rudolf. There he is there.
He's the master distiller at St. Kilian.
And
you have this interesting looking guy. I don't know about him. He doesn't look that trustworthy now, does he?
Not really. I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. So, so there we go. And that's the dram that I've also sent you as well. So there you go. It's the Ambassador's Choice, the 3rd version. Obviously, there's been other ambassadors as well that have brought out theirs. The Ollie Fink is the main brand ambassador at
especially at the north at the moment, still, right?
The very first one, I'm sure. And the second one was Thomson Manus, who now works with Seven Seals.
Down in Switzerland.
And Pat Hawk from Pat Hawk Whisky. So they two brought out the 2nd edition, and myself and Mario, we brought out then the 3rd edition. So it's a great cask, because what's good about it is it's Islay. And this is something that's just a part of me. Okay, I come from Ayrshire. I don't come straight from the island. But this is good because it's not like a French wine cask or a sherry cask from Portugal, or some other different European, cask. This is straight ex-Bunnahabhain.
It's sold out. I'm sorry. It's a German exclusive that sold out fairly quickly.
If you're going to find it, you'll find it online, but it is unfortunately sold out. Yeah.
And instead of the original €69, you're paying about up to 120 at the moment. So
that's right. Yeah. But I'm going to say, I'm sorry, but Slangevar to all everyone out there, hope you've all got a good dram in your glass. Always have a good dram in your glass. And yeah, Slanger bar.
Slanger. And could you tell us maybe how many bottles in total did you have of your bottling? Was it?
It was 1,207 bottles
All right,
exactly that actually came out. And
why a German exclusive? Because of 1,200 bottles.
That's right.
That's enough for Germany, and they were gone very, very quickly.
That's right. But as I says, we want to go international, so there will be a point that you'll get the signature editions through maybe airports or through whiskey festivals and stuff in China, Singapore, the whole lot, Japan, and we never know. Hopefully, they want to go that direction to go over to the UK. It'd be great to know that people know about this distillery, and yeah, it's a great distillery. Just to go there and to have a look and then say, wow! I mean, it's the production is great. It's small, but it's great. It's they're bringing out great stuff, and yeah, it's great.
Everything's a little relative. They're going to produce over 300,000 liters of alcohol this year alone. The last year was around 200,000, not due to COVID, but actually they did not have clarified at that moment yet their storage capacity, but they now have rented and leased for, I think it's a 30-year lease on a NATO bunker aerial, and they are filling up one bunker after the other at the moment. And as soon as enough stock is mature enough, they're going to start expanding internationally. But don't forget, it's 5 years old, and therefore that distillery is still fairly young. They rolled out to Germany. They're going to roll out to Europe. They're going to go out to Asia, and then they'll make it over to the States is the plan. And I'm going to call it the 10-year plan and not the 2-year plan, okay?
That's right. That's right. And what's actually good is as well, they're getting recognised through different international whiskey competitions.
Yep.
They are winning gold and double gold here, left,
time
right,
and time again.
And this is a thing that you've got to think. This is a distillery that's it's not just Germany's biggest whiskey distillery. It's not just a whiskey made in Germany, but it's actually showing a lot of potential. And a lot of people obviously don't know about different distilleries that are actually around the world. Obviously, I know you've got in India, Paul John and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
You've got different distilleries smoking whiskey. You've got different distilleries that will stand out. And this one, I'm sure will.
And I do know there have been actually talks with LM DU, La Maison de Whisky, and we'll see when it actually shows up there. I thought the first casks, the first bottles had already showed up there. They were sold out very, very quickly, according to my information at the beginning of this year. And unfortunately, Welsh, Singapore is a somewhat stronger economical nation at the moment with more money to spend than the UK. And it's almost easier at the moment to export to Singapore than it is to the UK due to Brexit.
That's right.
And it's really an annoying situation. So we'll see what 2020 brings. Sorry.
That's it. I mean, you've got to think of it this way as well. I've just realised I've got the wrong glass. There's the signature edition there. What is really interesting is when you start off a distillery now, Ralphie, he does his blog, and he was saying about how to start off a distillery, how to build a distillery, which was
one of his extras.
Very, very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Now, you've got to think of it this way. What market do you go to first if you want to go international? Right? You go to the Asian market at the start, right? Now, the thing with Brexit, or what I call Brexit, right? This is the worst thing, in my point of view, and I'm not going to talk about politics just now, but I find that, especially with the samples that's been sent to me and stuff like that, the duty, the whole lot you have to pay. It's just, and the whole paperwork that you have to fill is just. So you have to kind of let that calm down as well with the Brexit. So it's a good thing that St. Kilian will go that way to the Asia market first of all, and then later on to Britain, to America, and around the world, and get people to know it that way. So I think it'll be a slow process, but it'll be good. And that actually, you don't want to be producing so much and pushing it out. You know, you want to do things slowly as well. You know, so yeah, there you go.
All right. So our time's basically up. We've been now together for over 80 minutes.
Oh,
thank you very much for this wonderful journey from Islay over to Germany here. It's been wonderful to have the virtual tour or the real museum tour of your basement. Where, if people want to get in contact with you, how and where do they do that?
Well, if
can I share your email address or your or maybe something on Facebook? What would you like?
That's it. On Facebook, I'm on Facebook as Gavin Thomson, Bowmore brand ambassador. I'm also then as on Messenger. Just send me a message on Messenger if you want to, and we can maybe do it from there. You know,
look at this picture here. I just love that picture.
Yeah, there you go. That's me. That's me.
Thanks.
On the Bowmore, that's actually the wall of the front of the Bowmore distillery, which is under the sea level, and you've got that small ledge.
Yep.
And I thought I'm going to do it. I mean, it's a long drop.
Yeah, it is.
It's a long drop, but. I'm going to do it, and it was really good, and it was a beautiful day. That was also 2013. I was very slim at that time, and people wrote, "Yeah, it's called Bowmore," because I was doing that tea.
Exactly, the tea.
So a new distillery has been, but yeah, it's great to be there. I can just recommend go to Scotland, go to Islay, enjoy it. And just bring back a few drams to drink. Open up those bottles. It's there to be enjoyed, and to be enjoyed yourself, enjoyed with friends. Leave the good bottles for yourself. But it's there to be enjoyed. That's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American, tasting some rare and exotic whiskeys today, as usual. And I'd like to let my guest have his last words here at the end.
Well, thank you very much for your invite. It was great to do it in my own tongue as well.
Native language.
To everyone out there, thank you, Rika. Thank you to everyone out there. And it was nice to do it in my own tongue. As I says, just always have a good dram in your glass and enjoy it. Don't think about colouring, non-chill filtration, all of this shite. Just enjoy, relax, chill out, and enjoy. And that's it really. Slanjabar to your health, and hope everything will, just be safe and keep safe out there. All right.
All the best. Bye bye.
Cheers.